All right, so we are here. This is my first Computex ever, and we're here at the booth with Wooting. And as you guys know, I'm a huge fan, and there was some stuff here today that I expected to see, and definitely some stuff that I did not expect to see in person today. The big news is the Wooting HE60 V2, which they just announced a couple days ago. So we're going to talk about all the changes. I'll preview all the changes for you guys today and talk about some stuff that honestly was pretty surprising for me, because I thought we had pretty much reached the end of what was possible with the 60% Hall effect keyboard. They've made some amazing tweaks to this that I think are going to make for a much better out-of-the-box experience for round two. So I think the big headline for this that's a lot different this time around is normally when I get a Wooting keyboard, I make like 2 or 3 videos afterwards about all the aftermarket stuff that I want to do to customize the board. I'm just going to go on record right now and say that you can customize this thing if you want to, but I don't think you need to customize anything on this board. This time around, they've gone with an aluminum case design. This is very similar to the original Wooting case in plastic, but this is all aluminum. There's no zinc here. The pre-configured boards right now are going to come in black and in white, and they did assure me that the white process this time around is much more durable than we saw with the zinc. There's also a silver in the works, but what they have on display is not ready for the final yet, so we'll have to see what that looks like when it comes out. One of the big things you'll notice right off the bat is you can now order this configured in 2 different ways, where you either have single spacebar or you can do a split spacebar config where you have 2 smaller spaces and then a 1U key in between. This is not something that's modular, so you're going to have to make this distinction when you order your board. They are back with a redesigned silicone wrist rest this time that extends out a little bit. It's like a little deeper than the first one was, but the other thing it has is this little brace on the underside that the keyboard slips into, so it holds it in place. So your wrist rest is going to move with your keyboard, and if you don't like that, you can also just completely remove that brace, and now you still have the 2 separate units. Sound dampening is a lot more configurable this time around. We have the same foam bottom that we've seen from Wooting boards before, but we also now have a silicone insert in the bottom, or if you want a more full-bodied sound, you can just run with nothing in there. One of the really big exciting moves this time is their new switch. This is the Lecker Tekin, and this is a closed bottom switch, and unlike a lot of what's out on the market now, the total travel distance on this switch is 4 millimeters instead of like 3.2 or 3.5 that we're used to seeing. This is a very stable switch. It feels very smooth right out of the box, and it is hard to kind of get a sense of what this sounds like in person here on the show floor, but I've spent some time with this board now for a few weeks back in the studio back home, and I can tell you these sound very good. So because this is pressure fit, this is going to fit in the Wooting case. It's also going to fit in the Optimum case if you're lucky enough to get your hands on one of those, and it also fits in this new Owl Lab 60% case. This thing is absolutely insane looking. Comes in 2 different colorways. It is breathtakingly expensive, but when you see it in person, you understand why. It also has functionality where you can just flip a switch on the bottom, and you can either have a firm or a flexi typing experience. And unlike a lot of implementations I've seen that do that, you can definitely tell the difference in these 2. The biggest downside to this is that unfortunately, due to current circumstances, you're not going to be able to get this in the US. So the estimated availability for the Wooting 60 V2 is going to be Q4. I don't have a lot of other details outside that, but definitely stay tuned to the channel, because you know I'm going to be covering everything Wooting as we get closer to launch time. All right, so I'm here with Simon. He's the lead software engineer at Wooting, and we're talking about knobs today.
Yes.
Big knobs and small knobs. Small knobs are okay too. Talk to me about this big 4-unit knob I'm seeing on the 80HE here.
Yeah, so the big knob, it was actually originally supposed to be part of the 80HE.
Okay.
That's also why the design is like this. So you can drop it in to replace the switches. You can choose if you want the switches, which is the knob, whatever you want.
Nice, and you know, don't take this the wrong way, but it feels really good in hand. What is this surface made of?
So the top is aluminum.
Okay.
And
the rest is probably like an industry secret for right now, right?
Yeah.
Can't say too much about it?
Top secret.
Okay, so this has full rotation functionality, left and right, and it also has a press function as well, right? So this is going to be a 4-unit knob that's going to go in the little grid portion of the 80HE. And then over here we've got the small knob. This is a 1U, yeah?
It replaces 1 single switch.
Fantastic. This is aluminum as well?
Yeah, the cap is aluminum, yeah.
Fantastic. And what kind of limitations do I have? Where can I position this on the 60HE?
Well, there's not really much limitations. So on the 60HE, you could have it anywhere you want, as many as you want.
As many as I want?
Yes.
So like all knobs?
Yeah, if you wanted to. If you wanted to have not a very fun typing experience,
yeah,
you could have knobs everywhere.
So it's got the same rotational functionality and same click functionality. And I'm assuming we'll be revealing in time kind of what that's going to translate to in the Wootility and what we can assign that to?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And when are we looking at rough availability for these to be able to get my hands on these?
So the target is Q1 26.
Q1 26. Fantastic. All right, well, thank you for being so willing to openly discuss knobs in front of everybody here at Computex. Thanks, man.
It was great.
So that's going to be it from the booth at Computex. This is actually my first time doing anything like this before. I'm sure my beard looks insane, and I have no idea what I'm going to sound like doing man-on-the-spot stuff, but just want to give Wooting a big thank you for sending us out here to Taipei. This has been an absolutely incredible experience so far.